Hey everyone, this is Mr. Gallagher. We're going to be talking about some of the basics of how to read music. So we're going to start with something called the staff. That's the foundation of which notes are drawn upon. The modern staff has 5 lines, as you can see, and 4 spaces, and that's universal for all music you're going to read. Okay. Every line or space on that staff is going to represent a different note or a different white key on the keyboard. Again, you may not know how to play piano, but every instrument is going to relate to the piano in some way, shape, or form. Now, how are we going to distinguish notes on the staff? It's going to be with something called clefs, and those are going to be what assigns the individual notes to the different lines or spaces on that staff. Okay, the 2 clefs we're going to be mainly talking about is going to be the treble clef and the bass clef. Okay, first we're going to start with treble clef. Okay, and again, if this is review for you, that's great. Just follow along. You're going to be great for the end of the performance check. Okay, so we're going to start with the treble clef. It's also known as the G clef. Okay, and that's because where that little circle is right here. Oh, you can't see that. Yeah, you can. That little circle where the treble clef starts, that's on the G line. Okay, so any note on that line becomes a G. Okay, one space above that is an A. The note on the line above A is B. And this process continues and continues on and on. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. Now, what happens when we're out of spaces and lines on that staff? Okay, and the solution is going to be ledger lines. Okay, ledger lines are small little lines that extend the staff up or down when we run out of room. Okay, with this ledger line, we can draw, and we're going to now have an A because we just extended that staff up. Okay. So ledger lines extend the staff, okay, up or down. Okay, every note on that line or space has a letter name. Okay, and remember, the musical alphabet goes from A to G. There is no H. Okay. Next, we'll talk about that F clef or the bass clef. And the reason it's called the F clef is because those 2 dots right there, that's an F. Okay. So similar idea as what we did with the treble clef. We fill in those lines and spaces. Okay, when we go to the next space up, that's going to be a G. The top line is an A. Back down to F, E, D, C, and so on. Okay. Now, there's something called the grand staff. And all the grand staff is when we put together the treble clef and bass clef. So check this out. We've got this crazy thing with 11 lines. And we're going to eliminate the middle line, as you can see. And we're going to add a treble and bass clef. If you play piano, this looks very similar. And check that out. That note right there is called middle C. Okay, middle C is going to correspond to that grand staff, and it's going to be the note that connects treble clef and the bass clef. So that middle C is that middle note, and hopefully that helps you understand the range of the staff and where they connect. So if you're playing bass clef and you start expanding up above the staff, you're going to be now reading treble clef notes. If you're playing the treble clef and you go lower, you're technically playing in the bass clef range. Okay, so again, these are some of the basics when it comes to staff, clefs, and ledger lines. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you soon.